Hello everyone, welcome to the Whistling Hermit's One Card Spread series. This video series is primarily intended for learning how to read the tarot. However, you can also use this as a card reading for the day. This is a timeless reading, so if you are watching this now, its message might be for you. For this video series, we will be using the giant Rider Waite Tarot deck by the US Games Systems Incorporated. We will also be using the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. The first part of the video will be a descriptive study of a specific card in the tarot. We will describe what we see and the insights and feelings we gather from what we see. The first part is characterized by spontaneity. We allow the cards to speak to us regardless of the generally accepted meaning of the card. By doing this, we hope to increase our intuitive capacity for reading the tarot cards. In the second part, we will be reading the description of the card taken from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by AGM Urania. If you intend to use this as a timeless reading, you can randomly choose any card in the series that resonates with you. An alternative approach is to shuffle a Rider Waite card deck and pick a card randomly. You can then choose the card in the video series that corresponds to the card that you picked. Note that this series is a work in progress and it might take some time for the 78 cards to be completely read. So, without any further delay, let us proceed to the card for the day. Welcome to part 1 of our one card spread series, and our card for today is the Empress, which is number 3 in the Major Arcana. Okay, so what we see here is a woman whose face seems fresh, a little bit blooming. No, she seems very regal. She really has this aura of regalness, and at the same time there is a certain freshness in her face. Her face seems to bloom like that of a pregnant woman and even her clothes seems loose, like a maternity dress, like a dress of someone who is pregnant. So there's a probability that for some of you who are reading right now, you could either be pregnant now, or there is a probability of getting pregnant soon. Or it could be also that you will be producing something beautiful in the near future. So what you will produce could either be an offspring, a child, or it could be a project or an inspiration will finally come into being. No? And when you look at this dress of this woman, there are a lot of pomegranates in it, and pomegranates are symbols of fertility. So in a certain sense, no, really this lady seems to be a symbol of fecundity, of abundantness. There is fullness in her, productivity, abundance. There's this card is filled with signs of abundance. Like, for example, when you look at the forest behind her, no, it's very lush with very lush with many trees, and she seems to be at the tip of the forest. And this tip of the forest is also very, 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 very abundant, very fecundant, because when you look at it, there are a lot of wheat with a lot of ears already. There are a lot of ears already in this wheat. They are already beginning to produce seeds. And so when we look at it, this is really a sign of fertility. When you look at it, there's also a river here passing by, which nourishes all the plants around them, and there's sort of like a waterfalls. And if we would look at the next card, which is the card of the Emperor, it seems that this river continues to the card of the Emperor. So it shows us that the Emperor is not too far away from the Empress. The Emperor is close behind. Anytime the Empress would need the Emperor would immediately respond. And that is maybe the reason why the Empress is very secure. At the same time, she is well provided for. You look, even if she is already outside in amidst nature, she has a very comfortable place to sit on. There are a lot of big pillows, and there's a pillow here to extra support for the hips. Usually when a woman is pregnant, the hips, there is usually low back pain. So somehow there is more support on the hips. So it somehow suggests also a possibility of pregnancy. Now this here we see a heart-shaped shield. No, she can use it to protect herself. But this heart-shaped shield symbolizes love, and at the same time, this is the female sign, which is also the sign of Venus, which also symbolizes love. So it seems that she is also secured, protected by a loving relationship. So it could be the Emperor who is protecting her with this loving relationship. So this lady, this Empress, is well loved. Maybe it's because she is also loving. It's like love is exuding out from her being, and at the same time everything around her responds with love. Like nature blooms, nature provides her with food, and at the same time the universe, the sky is sunny, and then it seems like the universe also takes care of her. She's well protected by the universe in a certain sense, because when you look at it, no, there seems to be this one, the crown is filled with if you count it, it's 12 stars. So she's like also the Queen of Heaven also. So she's a Queen of Heaven, and at the same time, with all these beautiful things on earth, there's a Queen of Heaven and of earth. No? This is one of the descriptions they're giving on this Empress in the card, that she's well loved by whole of creation. So it seems that the divine takes care of her and provides for her. So she's really filled with the symbolism of abundance. And when you look at it, where she stands is very stable. It's a very stable place, but at the same time she is surrounded by creation. I remember, no, if we look at the first card, the earlier card, which is the card of the High Priestess, no? When you look at it, no, this is a continuation of the journey of the Fool. First, the Fool met the Magician, and then he met the High Priestess, and then he met the Empress. Somehow the story continues. When you look at it, somehow the High Priestess taught the Fool or the Dreamer that inward journey is also very important. It's not only an exterior journey. One needs to journey inwards to enrich one's life. And somehow he learned it from the silent example of the High Priestess. And somehow, when you look at it, if we try to reflect on it, when a person looks deep inside, he becomes in touch with the divine, with God, with the Creator, with the source of everything. And once you become in touch with the source of everything, you start to realize that everything came from the source. And when everything came from the source, it means that we are in kinship with the rest of the universe, the rest of creation, the rest of nature. There's a divine kinship that we have with the rest of creation, and this realization is deepened when we go inside ourselves. And somehow it's like after he maybe the dreamer already started having this one, And somehow there's a new message for him in his new journey. If you are aware of the divine and you are one with the divine, the result will be oneness also with the rest of the universe, the rest of creation. And somehow we see it here in the Empress. She is in unison and in union with the rest of nature and the rest of creation. And since she is abundantly filled with love, everything around it is also affected, and they are also filled with abundance and with love. When we look at it, no, this Empress is a person who seems very confident of herself. When you look at her face, she seems to be very confident in herself. She makes us feel that she's a person that does not need to be filled up with love. Nothing is lacking with her. She is overflowing. She's like a cup that is overflowing with love, because she felt loved by the creator, by the divine, the source, and she felt loved by the whole of the universe, the rest of the universe. She feels complete. So this Empress need not, when she reaches out to other people, she's a person who does not expect love to be returned. She just gives from her abundance. So somehow when she reaches out to somebody, it is reaching out with the intention of letting the others share in her abundance, in her joy, in her love. She's more reaching out in order to give love rather than to receive love. And in return, everything spontaneously gives love to her. So if you are at this present moment reading this card, there is a probability that you are in a state of life right now when you feel contented. You do not need anyone to fill up what is lacking in you. You feel happy being single, but at the same time, you are also open to reaching out to others. And if you would reach out to others, it is because you would like them to share in your joy. It is not because you are in need of being loved. So you could either, you are open, you can be happily single, and you can be also happy in a relationship wherein you are able to share in a relationship that is equally fulfilling, where both of you are giving each other unconditional love. And this is not a love that is codependent or you're lacking with something. No, it seems like this woman is so very much at peace, whether she is single or with a relationship with somebody. And so maybe this is an invitation. Or if it is not you, it could be that somebody. It can be also a mirroring. If you are already in this kind of state, there is a probability also that you might find somebody with the same disposition as you have right now. Someone who will also give from the fullness, from their fullness, and would give it unconditionally and would not expect anything in return. And this is a high form of relationship, and it would be a wonderful relationship, a fulfilling one, something that would bring you happiness and fullness and contentment. So there is a probability also that somebody might come along and will be sharing with you. Or it could be that somebody is already here and is sharing with you, and her characteristic is that of somebody who is very generous with giving love, does not hold anything. She is able to give unconditional love, and there is an invitation for us to also return that kind of unconditional love with unconditional love also. So these are the things we can see here, a person who is abundant. Look, even there's an abundance there. The scepter symbolizes her regal status. Her demeanor is also very regal. She's very much at peace. She's exuding with love and generosity. And so it's either you or somebody who is about to come. And it can be also somebody who's already in your life. But this is in a state. So somehow whoever is reading here, they are in a state of abundance right now. Abundance of fecundity and contentment. And this is a really, really very, very happy card. A very cheerful card. Okay. Anything else? More or less, that's it. No, so it's a sunny day. The environment is also celebrating with you. So there's a celebration with the stars, the regal setting. She's very much at home with creation. There's a certain oneness and joy being amidst of nature. And this oneness comes maybe from, I believe, from the discovery that everything came from the source, and that since you are one with the source, it's but natural that you will be one also with what he created. Well, that's it. Now let's go to part 2 of the card of the Empress, which is number 3 in the Major Arcana. Well, welcome to part 2 of our one card spread series, and our card for today is the Empress, which is number 3 in the Major Arcana. Now we will read from the booklet of the Tarot of A.E. Waite by A.G.M. Urania. Did you know that this booklet, the descriptions were written by 2 people? And let's mention their name. The first one is Rachel Pollack. She wrote A Journey of 78 Steps, and it's from page 18 to 95, which was copyrighted in 2011. And the second writer is Johannes Fiebig, which is taken from his work Basics of the Modern Tarot, page 4 to 17, and was copyrighted 2016. Now we go to the description of the Empress. Okay, it's a little long, so I will first let the camera focus on the upper portion and then the lower portion, and then we have the divinatory meanings, the warning and advice, and the action. Okay. The Empress, one of the tarot's happiest, most passionate cards. She represents lushness and fertility. Some see her as pregnant, but I will leave that to your judgment. Yes, some cards show her as pregnant. Some very obvious, others you're not sure. The woman symbol on her heart-shaped shield is, in fact, the astrological sign for the planet Venus, named for the Roman goddess of love. The male sign actually signifies Mars. She urges us to embrace life in hard times, to trust that love will transcend suffering. Her tiara contains 12 stars for the zodiac sign, making her a Regina Coeli, a queen of heaven. While the trees and the flowing river, and especially the golden grain, growing all around her simple love-seat throne, show her attachment to nature. Pomegranates decorate her face. Now this one, I wonder, there are no tattoos in her face. Maybe what the writer meant was decorate her dress. Yeah. See, there are a lot of pomegranates in the dress. Okay. Filled with seeds and juice the color of blood. Pomegranates not only symbolize fertility. Okay, it's a little far. Okay, fertility. They actually contain estrogen, the female hormone. Wait, let's allow her to focus a little. Come on. Okay. They actually contain estrogen, the female hormone, as well as chemicals that help prevent cancer. Divinatory meanings: passion, fertility, optimism, a reminder to embrace life in harsh moments. She can represent love, but also motherhood. Warning, advice, caution, the need to think and plan rather than act from emotion. Action, a moment to express your passion with great confidence. Okay, so this is our part 2 for today. I hope you have a great day, and may you always have the blessings from the divine.